Hello friends, today we are going to do analytical reasoning, and in analytical reasoning we have few statements are given. We need to break up some certain facts, mention the statements, and we have to properly analyze every statement, arrange and sort out the given facts. Okay, and on that basis we have to answer the questions given below of every questions. Generally we have options also there, but I haven't used the option right now. If you see the option, you can go for hit and trial method. Okay, so we are going without options so that you can understand how to solve the problems, how to make the statements, how to arrange the things in type of questions. Okay, so analytical reasoning basically it's a mix of you can say coding, decoding, or maybe you can have arrangement questions, sitting arrangement questions, direction based questions, and we have to decode every statement according to that question, and we have to make the final arrangement based on that question, then we will answer the question. Sometimes when we are making the arrangement on the very first time, maybe our first arrangement can be wrong, so we have to make sure that we can use two arrangements or three arrangements to analyze our statement properly. So now we are starting the first question. So the first statement here given is, there are five friends: Shailendra, Keshav, Madhav, Ashish and Rakesh. Shailendra is shorter than Keshav but taller than Rakesh. Madhav is the tallest. Ashish is a little shorter than the Keshav and a little taller than the Shailendra. So the question here given are, who is the shortest? If they are started in the order, stand in the order of their height, who will the middle? So now we will go with the person which who have fixed position among the five. So in the second statement we have given Madhav is the tallest. So we can arrange Madhav at the topmost position. Now our first statement is Shailendra is taller than Keshav, shorter than Keshav. So Shailendra is shorter than Keshav but taller than Rakesh. Okay, I am using the first letter of their names only. M stands for Madhav, K for Keshav, S for Shailendra and R for Rakesh. Madhav is the tallest we have used. The last statement saying that Ashish is a little shorter than Keshav and a little taller than Shailendra. This means Ashish can be placed here because statement is saying that Ashish is little shorter than Keshav and a little taller than Shailendra. Okay, so he's shorter than Keshav and taller than Shailendra. So Ashish can fit in between. So I can make this arrangement like this: Keshav, then Ashish, then Shailendra, then Rakesh. Okay, we have five persons and Madhav is tallest among them. So I can place Madhav at the topmost position. So Madhav is here in the topmost position. So we have decoded the statement. So this is the arrangement, our final arrangement. Okay. So what is our first question? Our first question is, who is shortest? So we can see Rakesh is shortest among all. So I will write Rakesh here. Second thing saying, if they stand in the order of their heights, who will be in the middle? So there are five persons. The third most person will be the middle. The third person is Ashish, which is in the middle of the arrangement. Our third question is, if they stand in the increasing order of their heights, who will be the second? This means ascending order we have to arrange. Like shortest person in the last or in the first, then we have to arrange in the ascending order. So our second person will be Shailendra. This is the ascending order. This is the ascending order. Okay. So Shailendra will be the second. Who is second tallest? Keshav is second tallest person. Now last question is, who is taller than Ashish but shorter than Madhav? Taller than Ashish and shorter than Madhav. So Keshav is taller than Ashish but shorter than Madhav. So this is our first question and the very basic question of the analytical reasoning, and this is how we can solve the questions. Okay, so I have dropped the option in every question so that you can understand the basic idea how to solve them. Okay, now we'll move on to the next question. This is also a basic reasoning question. In a group of 5 persons, A, B, C, D, and E, B and C are intelligent in mathematics and geography. A and C are intelligent in mathematics and history. B and D are intelligent in political science and geography. D and E are intelligent in political science and biology. E is intelligent in biology, history, and political science. So here we are given 5 students who are intelligent in different subjects, and give on based on that information we have given 5 questions. So the basic we can go here is we can arrange every student in their respective subject column, which one is intelligent in which subject. So we can arrange, so that we can arrange every student. First I will make some columns of the subjects. The subjects here given is mathematics, so I will write maths only. Then we are given geography, then history, political science is also there, and the last one is biology. We are given 5 subjects and 5 students: mathematics, geography, is political science, history, and biology. Okay, so I will arrange each one according to the statements given. So in the first statement we have given B and C are intelligent in mathematics and geography. So B and C both are intelligent in mathematics and geography. So I will write B in the both the column mathematics and geography, and also write C in the both the column B mathematics and geography. Now A and C are intelligent in mathematics and history. A and C are intelligent in mathematics and history. So A is in mathematics and history also. But we can see we have already written C in the mathematics column. So I will write C only in history now. Okay. So you have to write each subject in row wise, so that there is no confusion. If I have write A in the first here, so I may be not be able to find A in our questions. Okay. So I will write row wise. Next statement said that B and D are intelligent in political science and geography. So I have already written B in geography. So I will write B in political science only. And D is also intelligent in political science and geography. So I will write D here and D also here. Okay. And the last statement says that D and E are intelligent in political science and biology. D is already written in political science. Okay. So I will write D in biology also. It is written in political science already. Okay. E is intelligent in political science and biology. And the final statement says that E is intelligent in biology, history, and political science. Biology, history, and political science. So E is intelligent in biology, history, and political science. So we have arranged the proper arrangement. B and C are intelligent in mathematics and geography like this. We have arranged every person in their respective subject. Okay. Now I will go on the question. Our first question is, who is intelligent in political science, geography, and biology? Political science, geography, and biology. So in 3 subjects, only D is common. We can see from the given arrangement that only D is present in all the subjects. So my answer is D. Our second question says that who is intelligent in mathematics, political science, and geography? Mathematics, political science, and geography. From the given arrangement, we can see that B is only present in all 3 subjects. So our answer is B. Our third question says that who is intelligent in mathematics, history, but not in geography? So mathematics, history, but not in geography. So we can see A is only the person who is intelligent in math and history, but not in geography. So our answer is A. Fourth question says that who is intelligent in mathematics, geography, and history? Mathematics, geography, and history. So we can see C is only their person who is available in math, geography, and history. So our answer is C. The last is who is intelligent in political science, history, and biology. So we can see E is the only person who is intelligent in these all 3 subjects. So this is our second question. Now we'll move on to the third question. 5 friends A, B, C, D, and E are sitting on a bench. A is sitting next of B, C is sitting next to D, D is not sitting near E. E is on the left end of the bench. C is on the second position from the right. A is on the right of B and to the right of E. A and C are sitting together. Okay. All 5 friends are sitting on a bench. Okay. What is the basic idea is that we have to always look for direction. If they are facing north, or they are facing now south, or they are facing alternate direction, like one in north, one in south. Okay, but in this question there is no information about direction, so let us assume they all are facing north. Okay, I will say all are facing north. This means this is their left hand and this direction is their right hand. Okay, we have to properly look out for the directions, and left hand and right hand also. 5 person are sitting, so I will mark up 5 lines, 5 marks for 5 friends. Okay, this end is left hand and this is right hand. Okay, when you are solving the question, your left hand will be the left hand of the arrangement, your right hand will be the right hand of the table or whatever the bench is given. Okay. So first statement is saying that A is sitting next of B, but we are not clear about where is B sitting, on the left hand, right hand, in the middle one. So first I will look for the person whose position is fixed according to arrangement. We'll find that person first. A is sitting next to the B, C is sitting next to the D, D is not sitting here, E is on the left hand of the bench. So we have find that E is on the left hand of the bench. Secondly, we are given C is on the second position from the right. From the right hand, C is on second. First, second. So these are second position. C is on the second position from the right. Now, A and C are sitting together, and A is sitting next of B. So I can place A here also, or I can place A here also, because A and C are sitting together. So they must be neighbor of each other. But in the first statement is given that A is sitting next of B. So if I will put A here, so I can't place B next to A. So I will remove this position of A. Okay. So A will be there. Okay. So I will write A here. And A is sitting next to B also. Okay. And we have left with only one person, that is D. Now I will match all my conditions if they are satisfying or not. So A is sitting next to B. Okay, done. C is sitting next to D. This is also done. D is not sitting near E. D and E are poles apart now. E is on the left hand of the bench. Correct. C is on second position from the right. Correct. A is on the right of B. Okay. They all are facing north. So this is their right hand. So A is on the right of B and also the right of E. And the last statement is A and C are sitting together. This is also satisfying. So this is our final arrangement according to this question. Okay. The point is for the position of A, and I were told how to sit A also. So our first question is, where is A sitting? So A is sitting between B and C. So our answer will be between B and C. Second question is, who is sitting in the center? Obviously A is in the center. Now our third question is, C is sitting between. So C is sitting between A and D. So our answer will be A and D. Our fourth question, what is the position of D? Position of D, extreme right, because D is on the right hand, so this is extreme right. Fifth position, what is the position of B? We can say between E and A, or second from the left hand. Second from the left hand. So this is our final answers for every questions. Now we will doing another question. This is a sitting arrangement in the circle form. Okay, 8 friends A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H are sitting in a circle facing the center. They all are in the circle facing the center. So we have the direction also. So first I will mark up 8 positions here. these final 8 positions for 8 persons, and they all are facing center. This means this is their right hand and this will be their left hand for every person. Okay, because they all are facing center, so right and left hand are, we have specified. A, who is sitting immediately between G and C, is just opposite to F. Okay, now there is no any fixed position for any person. Like in second question, E who is sitting immediately between H and C is second to the right of A and second to the left of F. D is sitting second to the left of G. So in all the in all the 4 information given, we have not find any person whose position is fixed. So I will arrange any person, start from any person. Okay, our first statement is A, who is sitting immediately between G and C. So I will mark G here, C here, and A between them. Okay, A, who is sitting immediately between G and C, is just opposite to the F. This means F is sitting opposite to A. So this will be opposite position. 3% here and 3%, 3 to the left, 3 to the right. So this is the middle most position. So F is just sitting opposite to the A. Our second statement is E, who is sitting immediately between H and C, is second to the right of A. Okay, E is second to the right of A. This is first right, this is second right. This is E, and E is sitting between H and C. So this is C and this is H, and it is also second to the right of A and second to the left of F. You can see this is left position, first, second. Okay, this is H. D is second to the left of G. G first left, second left. We have only left with one person now, that is B. So this is the B. So we have arranged the final statement. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. All of them are sitting according to the given information. Now our first question is, who are the 3 friends immediately to the right of B? Immediately to the right of B, G, A, C. So these are the 3 friends who are right to the B. Who is sitting between D and G? D and G, B sitting between them. Our third question is, who are immediate neighbors of D? Immediate neighbor both in both the direction. Okay, we can't look for in one direction. We have to look for neighbors in both the directions. So F and B, they both are neighbors of D. Who is sitting directly opposite to G? Directly opposite to G is H. 3 in the right direction, 3 in the left direction. Who is sitting directly opposite to C? So this is D. Who is sitting directly opposite to D? Okay, 3% to the right, 3 to the left. So this is the middlemost position. So D is the in the middle of the is sitting opposite to the C, D. Okay, so this is our final question for sitting arrangement or analytical reasoning. Okay, so this is how we can solve the questions. Now we'll discuss our next question in our next class. Hope you understand all the questions.